Yep.
Yeah, I think it's already live. 1 minute.
Yeah, Justin, you can start.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the fifth session of CLAP. Most of you are from the MCA background, and jobs are always on your mind. Today we have one such person, Rejin Jose, who is working in that field. He has done his MCA and works for a IT company. He would like to tell us more about himself and begin the talk on careers in IT sector. Over to you, Rejin.
Hey, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You can proceed.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So, yeah, good evening, everybody. So I think my audio is clear and loud enough. Or maybe let me know if something is crackling or some sort of stuff's happening. Please let me know. Yeah, so I'll just quickly introduce myself. As Jason said, my name is Rejin and I'm from Kochi, Kerala. I'm based out of Kochi, Kerala. I did my master's in computer applications from Cochin University and started working in IT industry from 2018. And yeah, I joined a startup, and then I moved to my current company, which is a multinational company. And I work as a, I'll tell my designation is AI engineer, artificial intelligence engineer. Basically, it's a software engineering role with specialized in artificial intelligence. So yeah, that's the brief about me. And yeah, so I'd like to know about the people who are listening me. So could you guys give me a quick intro about yourself? Just tell me your name, place, and what are you doing or what are you looking to do? Just a 30-second stuff. Could you please start?
Hi, sir. Good evening, sir. I hope
Hi.
I'm audible.
Yeah,
I'm
audible.
Inya, and I'm from Chennai. Currently pursuing my PCA. I'm in my final year. So, yes, sir. So, looking forward to becoming a AI engineer. I'm currently ML stuffs. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Yeah, I understood the name is Ramya, right?
Yes, sir. Inya.
Voice is a little bit breaking.
Inya.
Inya.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Inya. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. My name is Saravanan. I am basically from Tamil Nadu, Salem of Tamil Nadu. I am currently residing in Bangalore. I am working as a SDE, Software Development Engineer Level 2 in Bangalore. I am also an MCA graduate or postgraduate only. Currently, due to the recession situation, I am in the notice period. I am looking for a career change. I am good at Visual Basic and SQL Server. I am also currently having a good exposure in Java, Python, and PostgreSQL.
Cool. So yeah, welcome, Saravanan.
I'm having good exposure. That is good experience of 16 years experience in IT field. And non-IT field, I'm having 5+ years.
Mm-hmm. So I've been working in which company?
I'm working in Creative Software Private Limited, which is located in Koramangala in Bangalore. It is on a payroll domain.
All right. Yeah. Thanks. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, good evening, sir. I am Saloni Diwan and I am from Narmadapuram, Madhya Pradesh. Currently, I am pursuing BA first year. That's all about me in short. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Ramakrishna. I'm from Hyderabad. working as a computer training for visual impaired for past 4 years. Thanks.
Which organization are you associated with, or you're doing it freelance?
I'm working with the LV Prasad Eye Institute. We have a setup of the rehabilitation centers here.
Hey, sorry, it was noisy. I didn't get what you said. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm working with LV Prasad Eye Institute. We have
Oh,
a rehabilitation setup.
oh, in a rehab. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Myself, Chetana HD. I'm working at KHP in Davangere. Thank you, sir.
Nice. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, one more person is left. Firdos? Her phone is her only. Okay.
Who is that?
Hi, Rejin. Good evening. Arun here.
Hey, good evening.
Yeah,
How are you
Firdos.
doing?
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. I'm Firdos Fatima. I have completed my BA. So my subjects were psychology, sociology, and literature. And I'm from Bangalore.
Oh, great. That's nice. Cool. So I think everybody has spoken, right?
Yes.
Cool. So I see a diverse group of people, even from different places as well, different academic backgrounds. All right, so let me pose a question to you all. One more question, so everybody has to speak one more. Sorry. Okay, so the session topic is basically careers in IT. It's a very broader stuff. So if I start speaking, I can speak anything, and even there are people who are having 16 years experience here. So I don't think that might be much entertaining for them as well. So I'd like to just quickly go through each of us, because we are a small group right now, so it's better we can interact and go on. I just wanted to know, like maybe a pointer, some pointers which we can speak. If someone, or I expect everybody of us to say at least one pointer, or if someone has nothing to say, like some broader stuff, they can listen. Just need to get some thoughts, like what do you wanna, maybe I would say you can like the experience which I have can be extracted. So if we have some specific points to discuss, or which you want to know, or something like that, shall we post it here and get started? So maybe we can quickly go through each of us and go through if we have any specific question or something like that. Specific in the sense, like some areas, like maybe I would just give some suggestions, like how to prepare for the interviews or something, or whatever, like what kind of roles are available, is there any challenges, that sort of things, whatever things which you have in mind, to like what do you guys expect to listen from me and what you guys want from me. If you have some thoughts,
Sir,
please share it.
yeah, I would like to know if I apply for a company offline, how do they select me, sir? Because do they consider my visual impairment, or in which stage I should let them know? So this is my question, sir.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I understand that the process and how do we handle that stuff, that's one point. I just noted it. Let's who told this point? Sorry, please.
India, sir.
Inya. Okay, yeah, we'll discuss that one. So noted. Me and Inya has to say something to everybody. Yeah. So some other thoughts. Like I've noted down, we'll discuss. We'll just quickly go through everybody's and let's go on. That's what I think. Okay, no problem. I don't want to waste time. So let's start with this, and maybe while we speak through it, somebody gets some thoughts, and we can post it together in between. No problem. Okay. So Inya's question was, for a candidate who has visual impairment, he has to go through the recruitment process, and when should they inform about the disability or that visual impairment? So that was the question. Um, from that question, I'll start. I'll just give the context, like about my profile and my journey. Just quickly, I'll go through it, and let's get into that point. So in my case, actually, as you know, I did my master's in computer applications and graduation in computer science, BSc computer science. That education stuff is a different story that we'll share sometimes later, or some other sessions. So after that, the thing is, I understood that. Okay, in my experience, couple of things I'll just share from my experiences. From my master's, there was campus placement available in the university. There were companies. I'll not I'll not disclose the names all over here because this thing is live and streaming over there. So many of the companies, around 3, 4, 5 companies were there. They were not okay to admit me in the campus recruitment itself, in the initial process itself, because the first process will be an aptitude test, which will be online through a machine test or such sort of things, which has to be accessible for me. Otherwise, I'll have to use a scribe to attend that exams or that tests. So none of them allowed me to do that. That's the first thing. So the first fact is I haven't got a job from campus placement. That's not ideal, by the way. My university cell has worked on that. Such sort of things are there. It's totally dependent upon the people who are coming for the recruitment there. It's not about the companies, by the way. So that doesn't mean you shouldn't approach for campus recruitments or directly recruiters, all this stuff. It depends on the people and the policies of the company. Basically, most of the multinational companies are okay for hiring people with disability or differently able people, because they do have policies and all this stuff. And the thing is, it's about, sometimes I felt like, from my personal experience, I felt like the people who we directly get in touch with might not be experienced in that stuff, or might not be having enough awareness about the stuff which we have. Like, for example, if they come across a visually impaired person, they might not know about screen reader or assistive technologies which a visually impaired person use. So they'll be skeptical enough to reject that person, or to say no to that person. So that's not a, we cannot blame them, by the way. It's the lack of awareness. So that's there. So I would say, when we approach recruiters or when we approach for a hiring process in any companies, just go through their website and see whether do they think about diversity and inclusion or such sort of things. Most of the multinational companies will have their policies online on the website and all this stuff. So you can see that. So the basic thing, the first thing is to be like aware about the company's policies, in the sense we don't need to learn all the policies or something like that. It's about the attitude of that organization. Most of the companies, like even you'll have any of the tech companies, middle to high, even startups are also aware about all these things right now. So that won't be a problem. Just check and see how friendly they are. Friendly in the sense how okay they are with the disability or the diversity stuff. Diversity in a specific term, I'd say disability. That's the first thing, because if they have enough policies and if they are friendly enough, they can easily accommodate a differently able person there. So that won't be an issue for them. Also for the candidate as well. So that's the one thing. The environment and the organizational policies are there. And even if there are policies, the people are different and things might be different while we come across things. So I would say first check the company profile and see how things are working, whether their people are working or not, or what is their diversity inclusion policies. If they're explicit about all those things on their online presence, you can easily mention about the visual impairment or the disability which we have to the recruiter at the beginning of that hiring process itself. That's my personal opinion. It's a kind of debatable opinion, by the way, because in my personal opinion, it's like, first thing, that environment should be there. A second thing, we'll have to inform at any time, like any manner. At the end of the day, we'll have to inform them, and they'll have to provide the accommodation for us. So even if we just need to go through the hiring process, even if we are hiding this thing and getting to the end of the process, and when they realize these things, if they don't have the mindset, first thing is the mindset, second thing is the environment or the policies, all those things, it'll be very tough for them to say yes or offer the job. And the second thing, it'll be more frustrating for ourselves. So I would say like that. My personal opinion is that. And very frankly speaking, I'll tell you, there were experiences which I had when I said, hey, at the end of the conversation, maybe a first screening call would have. In that call, I'd speak to the recruiter. They'll ask the requirements, all those things. I'll also question about all those, the role and all those stuff. At the end of that call, I just mention, hey, I have this thing. There's kind of visual impairment. I work in this role for last couple of years. So basically, once you get started and if you're experienced, they'll not be that much skeptical. But as a fresher, it'll be a little bit difficult. But that's there. Like, you'll have to go through it. The thing is, so the experience is basically, they look at my profile, they like it. My experience is really good for their requirements. And at the end, when I mentioned all these, like when I mentioned the visual impairment, there were maybe, I would say, 12, 30 or 20 recruiters who has absconded just due to this. Okay, so that'll be there. And that's not a problem, by the way. It's nothing to do with us. Okay, so it's, for us, it's just like, be prepared enough, be knowledgeable enough, and try all the options which we have in hand. That's it. Just be courageous. That's it. And that's what I feel. Because only if we show the confidence, they'll also have the confidence in us. So that's what I have seen in my experience. So that was the point. I think, Inia, is it clear, or you have any follow-up questions or something to ask?
Yes, I got it. So it's not mandatory to mention in the resume itself, right, sir?
Still, that's in my personal perspective. I have never mentioned my disability in my resume or any profile.
Okay, okay.
You can
Got it,
talk to
sir.
them in the conversation. No problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Yeah, meanwhile, anybody has got any thoughts to discuss or any questions to ask or any opinions to seek? Cool. So I'll just quickly go through the experiences I had, maybe for my first job and the second job as well, quickly. So after my master's, as I said, I was rejected from almost all of the campus recruitment stuff, and I was trying offline and through referrals. I was trying to get an interview at least. I have not done any interviews till then. I've done my internship, and there also I had problems. Like inside the company, they had a practice to recruit people who are doing the internship there, but there also disability was an issue for certain projects because inside the company as an intern, I'll be recruited to a specific project, and if the project manager and the resources inside that project are okay with that, I mean, they are okay to accommodate a person with disability, that will be fine. So in my case, that was not the case for that specific project, which I have been having the discussion. So that didn't work. So I had to look outside the internship as well. And yeah, so the person who referred me had helped me to have a discussion with the recruiter, I mean the HR personnel, because he had, like, I was telling him like, all right, yeah, I understand they are skeptical about the disability and all these things because they are not aware, and I don't have any experience. I'm a fresher, so at least you could you please request them, give an opportunity to participate in the interview, and if they are not interested or if they don't see my candidature as valuable, they can reject me. That's totally fine. But at least, could you please help me to get an interview? And he requested the same to the HR personnel, so they scheduled the interview. And that was a good one because that was in a startup. It was a completely technical interview, not like any kind of a formal examination or something. It was a face-to-face interview, which was quite accessible, right? You just need to listen. I'm also a visually impaired person, so you just need to listen to questions and answer that. Technically, it's a reasoning stuff. So I could clear that interview, and they were like there after the recruitment uh, stuff. I mean, the interview process. The another challenge will come about the tools and softwares which we need. There actually NVDA has saved me a lot because that was a startup and they cannot afford. Not sure it's Jaws for that company from Freedom Scientific. So NVDA has saved me. I'll support open source at least, and by that case, also I love open source projects and products. So NVDA saved me in that case. I have shared them about NVDA and all those things, and they have approved my request to install all those screen readers, which is freely available. So that was okay. And the second job, I mean the current job, that also was fine. The process was like this. Basically, it was not a campus drive, it was a lateral drive which was happening at an even venue, kind of a crowded drive, and the processes were same. Like there was a first written test is there, then couple of interviews, around 3 to 4 rounds of interview, then a manager round. After that, there is an HR round, and you'll get the offer at the end of the day. It was like a common drive. So I went there. I went there with my white cane, with my one of my friend, and we just approached the hall. Basically, there were around 100 to 200 candidates waiting over there for recruiters' instructions. So I sat there. When they say, like, when the recruiting team came inside the room, they saw me sitting with a white cane. So I think they understood that I'm visually impaired. And basically, they called me out and asked what is thing, and I just told all these things and I shared my. Then she told me, like, give me your resume, and just gave the resume. So once she shared that resume with the hiring team, uh, they told, like, all right, you don't need to attend the written test, you can directly go to the face-to-face interview. So from that experience, basically my current company is a multinational company which has the processes. But ultimately they need resources which is valuable, human resources. It's not just about the process. So there will be openings and there will be possibilities if we go there and speak to them with confidence. That's it, basically. So we'll get the right thing at the right time. That's what I believe. And that's what, because of this experience that I was telling uh, just a moment before, that it's not about the process and policies. It's about the people who are really looking for that stuff. So they can do, or they can change, the process sometimes. If they get the valuable resource, ultimately they need a resource which is good enough for which checks their checklist. That's it. So yeah, that was my another experience, and based on that I was speaking at that time. And so the career options in industry, I think from the intro session. Sorry, anybody has any questions or something?
Sir, from which you shared your insights, from which I understand to build a right professional network is important. How do I do that, sir?
Professional network, basically the person, I say, networking is a skill which I'm a kind of not an extrovert person, by the way. It's a little bit difficult. I know Chandana might have another comment, but uh, by the way, I was like, I'd say, for example, my first referral for my first job was um, one of my professors. Like in my university, there was one professor. He shared one contact number for some project stuff with my friend, and I collected that contact with permit from by the with the permission of that professor, and I contacted that person and networked that person. And after speaking to them, they understood my interest and opportunity, like what I'm looking for. And that person connected me to another person who is his cousin who's working in that company, and that was the person who referred me. So it's like um how like we need to speak to people, we need to connect with people and talk to them what we really need. We should be clear and concise and confident about what we really need and what are we looking for. And at that time I was very specific about the roles which I will have to I was really interested to work on. I was really interested only in machine learning engineering roles, which was an AI role, and I was only looking for such roles. So I found out the companies uh, which was having such products which use AI technology at that time in 2018, and I had to list down those things, and I tried to find people from those companies. That's how I tried to approach these people and asked, "Do you know anybody from this specific companies?" And they shared the contacts. Then I started referring, like getting the referral. So it's basically um, how much clear we are about what we are really interested to do and what we are capable to do as well. Capable in the sense, as a fresher, we might not be much confident enough to big for building a big project or something like that. But as a fresher, the thing is, which people might be looking for is what things you are really interested in or what things you have really explored in depth. So that's the USP for a fresher, I guess. So yeah, so basically networking is basically, if we are clear about what we need to know or what we need to get, go to the crowd, talk to people, get connections, and start doing things.
Okay, sir. Thank you for addressing this question, sir.
Yeah. And Yeah, so yeah, I was thinking about the careers in the IT industry right now. So, as you may have heard, I think in the intro itself, we have seen multiple people who are working. Uh, Basically, we have these kind of roles like the software development roles, software testing roles, management roles, all these roles. But right now, I think things are getting disrupted due to this chat GPT and all these large language models, generative models. All these things are changing the way even companies are working, even developers are working. All these things are in a kind of a transition stage. Let's see how it goes. But still, I believe um, the analytical capabilities and it's about the problem solving capabilities and all those things will be valuable at any times. So it's about upskilling based on the newer technologies which we have. So as a kind of a what to say, like basic idea, I understand that people might be skeptical about the career for people with disability in IT industry. I'm not sure. Maybe people who are not aware might be skeptical. But the thing is, in my personal opinion, IT has enough opportunity because it has more kind of an inclusive stuff which we can do. Because, for example, I'm a I'm working as in general. I'm working as a software engineer, and maybe my colleague might be using a specific tool to do a specific task, which might not be accessible with my screen reader, but I have enough alternative options which will be screen reader accessible so that I can do the same task in an accessible way. So that's a kind of flexibility we have in the IT industry kind of jobs. That's what I feel personally. So, if you guys have any other opinions, please share it out. No problem. Um, okay.
Audio now unmuted.
Sir, can you explain more about this artificial intelligence and machine learning these days? These words are coming in new ways, so everybody are curious to know about these things.
Sure. Like, do you want to talk about something specific, or what do you want to know about it?
In general, I guess.
In general, yeah. So, I think almost all of us are aware about these GPT, Chat GPT stuff, and all sort of things. In a technical terms, those are large language models. And there are models which is multitasking. I mean, works on images and visual data kind of stuff as well. So there are models. Models are basically this a piece of software or algorithm which processes and give a output. So basically, these are getting much more smarter enough because, um, for example, right now, I'll tell you the change. Okay, so currently I'm trying to work on a report right now. For example, previously, maybe pre-GPT days, pre-chat GPT days, I'll be noting down the points and expanding it by my own. It'll take around maybe 3 to 4 hours to complete that entire report, which has around 10 pages, maybe. Okay. With enough factual stuff, analysis, and with proper formatting. Currently, it's like I do have the precise points about it and just need to give it to ChatGPT or GPT model, and it can write a brief document, and I can give more instructions and iteratively expand the document to complete that report, it'll mostly take around 1 or 1.5 hour. So that much productivity is there. Like the AI things make things more productive. In my personal opinion or personal experience, that's what I feel. And the question might be like, there are some hot or debatable questions which are coming up, like it'll replace humans and replace human workers, all those sort of things. Currently, I cannot comment on that stuff, but the thing is, the basic repetitive tasks and basic language tasks, content generation tasks will be replaced by these kind of generative models anyways. So we'll have to upskill ourselves from all these sort of specific repetitive tasks which can be replaced. We'll have to like ultimately we work for money, right? For finance. So we'll have to find some other financial income or income streams or other skills which will pay for us, because definitely such kind of trivial tasks will be definitely replaced by these kind of AI techniques and technologies. That is a definite thing. And how far is like replacing these technology with for replacing a human with these kind of technology? At that I cannot predict right now. I cannot comment on that stuff. But yeah, this is definite thing, and things are getting into the industry right now. All of the tech companies or even project companies, service companies are trying to adapt all these things to make their business more productive, make the business more, giving more throughput. All those things are currently happening. The transition is going on.
So previously you talked about flexibility to use tools.
Mm-hmm.
My question is it only with startups or do product based or service based companies also allow us to do that?
No, I'll tell you. Like, for example, startups has that flexibility. I understand. My current company is a corporate company which has all these processes and software installation stuff. Even there also, for example, integrated development environment, which is a software tool which is used for programming. So, for example, I was working in a UK project, and the people who were there, I work on language called Python, and one of the good IDE for Python is PyCharm, which is a software or the IDE produced by JetBrains, JetBrains is a company, software company. But that thing is not completely accessible with my screen reader. So I use another tool. Ultimately, they need the software, like they need the development should go on, right? And another thing, like other things are not in their radar. So ultimately, we need to deliver the stuff at the end of the day. Other than what kind of tool we use is not a important thing in any scale of companies. If it's startup or medium tier company, or even if it's tech giants like Google or Microsoft, I I I confidently say this because I have spoken with engineers who are working in Google, and I have asked the same question to them. So there, it's totally flexible. What kind of tool you are comfortable and make you productive, that's the tool which we can use.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, is there any specific developer communities with visual impairment so we can join?
Yes. I have joined one of them when I have started my graduation itself, which is an email group, mailing list basically. Its name is program dash L, program dash L, L for list. That
Mm,
is a international programming community um, with a wide array of experience. Like I've got a mentor from there who I remember who was from Belgium, I think. He mentored me, he supported me for doing my graduation project, final year project. And also they support us with lots of information. Like if you have some specific project, we are using these technology, and I have a couple of questions like, is there any accessible software or alternatives which I can use for this thing? My team is using another thing. So all those questions I usually post there, I get enough answers from there. So that's a very supportive international community of visually impaired and blind programmers.
okay, sir.
Which is not specific to any technology or any operating system. It's completely a general group which contains all the people who are working in all technologies and all operating systems.
Other
Even if
than
it,
that, sir.
yeah, this is a thing which I have used personally,
Okay.
and there are a couple of uh, you know WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups who discusses about the accessibility challenge on specific in like Windows or Mac OS platform. Also, the NVDA group is there for NVDA questions. Such sort of things I have seen. Other than that, I haven't seen any programming community specifically for. I haven't seen in the sense. It doesn't mean there is nothing other than the program dash L. I haven't used other groups because this group was enough for me for my personal use.
Yes, sir, I understand. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
For accessibility related things, there is a job list. There is one on WhatsApp, but that's only for those who are doing accessibility testing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what, if you ask people, keep asking people, you will get answers, Rejin is one. So like that, there are so many people in IT field, you have to keep asking them. They will recommend WhatsApp groups to join. So you have to keep on trying.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you can. I think you can Google. There are a couple of search engines which will list out the mailing lists. Program Dash L is one of them. There might be other groups as well because
I'm part
the
of program Dasher. So yeah. Okay, sir. Yeah, as you said, it's a huge community.
yeah. So I found this Program Dash L online because I was searching that. Just simply Googled about communities or mailing lists for programmers or blind programmers. That's how I found it. I haven't got any recommendation about that thing. I found it online itself. So I think there might be very newer or modern communities which has started recently or something like that. You can Google and find it. It'll be online, I guess.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Anybody else has any questions? And also any LinkedIn also, you can join and create a profile. That's a good place for people to contact you.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Compared to referrals, the public domains that like Naukri, LinkedIn, these are all, how much it will be feasible for VA persons compared to referrals? Referrals means it will be like a one-to-one. By referring, we are moving to the next steps. But in the public domains like such as Naukri, Monster, LinkedIn, is there any possibility of getting a good job in case of freshers or experience? It might not be a matter. Can you please discuss on the same?
I understood. First thing is the public platforms and referrals, the difference between them. So based on what? Like the freshers and experienced or anything else?
Anywhere reference that is it will be adding more, that is we are giving inducing on them to give us a chance. But in the public platform, we are not specific. We are one among them. So there will compared to reference, the open doors for VA persons it is comparatively less or
Okay.
negligible compared to reference. Is it so?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, visually impaired as well. Frankly speaking, in my opinion, I would say when you get into job market, um, please keep aside the title called visually impaired. Okay. You don't need to remind yourself or remind others that you're visually impaired because that's not the thing we are going to sell there. You're going to sell your skills. So you can emphasize on that, not on visually impaired. So wherever you go for any kind of opportunities, or it's a kind of a mindset. Like I have got this kind of like sort of questions sometimes, like so whether this thing is doable for VI or like that group or that platform is acceptable for VI. So it's not like it's how we place ourselves. I would say for my personal thing, my personal thought or my perspective is like I usually don't care that I am visually impaired. My name is Rejin, and I have these skills, and I am looking for this job. That's it. First thing. So for that, uh, that's the first point I just wanted to mention. And when you get into the conversation, you can speak about your accommodation needs. That's another stuff. It's not like you're a visually impaired skilled person. You're a skilled person. That's the first thing. And second thing about the public platforms or referrals. That depends on companies and projects and requirements. If the person who is referring you is in the same project and same team, which is has the requirement, that'll be more easy for them to track and maybe like help you out on that stuff. Other than that, uh, referral is a skip from the huge front line to directly to the table of the recruiter. That's the only difference from referrals. And public platforms are really useful because I got the current job. I've got the call from Naukri. That's how I got invited to that drive. So when we look out for job, the platforms are, I would say, if you have 100 platform, use all of them because it's about how much we can reach. If we reach out to 100 recruiters, maybe two, I'm still talking not about a visually impaired skilled person. I'm talking about skilled person. Okay, for everybody, even if we reach out to 100 recruiters, maybe 10 or 20 might reply, maybe 10 might be thinking about interviews, 5 interviews might get scheduled. So how much we increase the numbers or how much we increase the span of the reach, that helps us. So make use of most of the platforms which are available. If you are thinking about using the platforms, or if you are specific about certain companies and certain roles, if you're clear about where to apply, tailor your resumes for that and apply there. That's what I would suggest. I think it's clear. If you have any follow-up question, please let me know.
Anybody else has any questions?
I hope everybody is awake and online as well.
Yeah. So ChatGPT and all has forced your company to change directions, or are you continuing to do the same thing after?
It's not about company's direction, company's business values, and all those things will be there.
Yeah.
The way we work and the way we design products or services will be changed. We'll try to adapt more AI stuff inside there to make things smarter,
Okay.
more productive, and more useful for the customers. Yeah.
So you are doing for the mobile platform or for the desktop?
I am working in a web project, backend project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So if we have no more questions, then we will wind up and we will meet again next time. Next time.
Yeah.
Audio now. It was a very interesting session. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Rejin, for sharing your time. I know everybody is waiting to go back to your cricket match. Today, India is playing New Zealand.
Audio.